first lesson.
Okay, so you've not played the piano before.
Not really. Maybe a little bit here and there.
Okay, a little bit here and there. So then you are, usually I tell people, I point out that the black keys are in groups of 2 and 3, which they see right away, of course, but pointing it out still helps people to just grab onto that, because that's an important aspect of the piano, that every 7 notes, the pattern repeats.
Okay.
In music, there are 7 different keys. And, of course, you know that as we go to the right, the pitch goes up. When we go to the left, the pitch goes down.
Of course, yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. I think what I'd like to do first is look at your hand position. So I'm going to give you a little tiny, easy little exercise where you're going to put, do you know where C is? Close. Yes, it's to the left of the 2 black keys. Good. And this is called middle C for the obvious reason that it's in front of you in the middle of the piano. It's better when you're first starting to put your right hand on the higher C, because then it's in line with your body rather than crooked. And we're just very tender right now, trying to get a really nice hand position with a nice relaxed physical approach. So we're going to put your finger 1, which is your thumb. It's different than a string instrument.
Okay.
In a string instrument, the index finger is finger 1. But for piano, finger 1 is your thumb, and you're going to put it on the higher C above middle C. Now you've got 1 finger on every key. Okay, great. Now, the best position where the pianist's strength comes from in playing well is across these knuckle ridge. And that's called, by a lot of professors, the bridge of the hand. So you see I'm pushing your wrist down a little bit, just a little bit, and getting your knuckles to stand up taller. That way, every finger just hangs down from gravity. Try to make that. Here, I'm going to do it. You pick up my finger too. You see how loose it is. And you see, it's hanging down from the knuckles. I'll very quickly just really try to convince you of why I do it this way. If you're standing, look at my hand. It's in a very natural position, and this is standing up. And if I was just to lift it, that's the position we're going for. That's the position that a doctor would put your hand in for a cast. All the bones are lined up nicely in the ligaments. I think you have to. No, you don't have to do it. You have to stand.
Okay.
I was just proving it to you.
I think your hand is more curved than my hand.
No, okay, stand up. No, you didn't. Just let it hang. Just let it go. Now look at it. Look at this. These are standing out this way more than your fingers or your wrist.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
I believe you.
Great. So, what you can do, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put my finger right underneath the 3rd knuckle, to like a bit of a support beam to hold your hand up. And then you remember how relaxed my fingers were? Excellent. Now you're copying me beautifully. You're going to play each finger 5 times, holding each key down a little bit of length of time so you don't rush. So we'll start with the thumb. 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. What's happening, I can feel the pressure a little bit. Your wrist is wanting to come up. That's very natural at this stage. You're sitting well, your elbows hanging down from your shoulder. But just try to resist that urge and keep it loose in here. And that's your high point. Okay, finger 2. Good. Now finger 3. Now I'm going to take my finger away. You're doing a really good job. You have a good natural hand position. Finger 4. See, with every time you play 4, that bone pushes up a little bit. That's good. Finger 5. Okay, excellent. Now, because you're an adult and you're picking this up fast, I'm going to go to the next step that I would do with a child in the second lesson, which is we're going to keep all the fingers glued onto the keys.
Okay.
Okay? They're stuck. But you still want that looseness if I lift it. But when you play, you're not allowed to lift any. And then you could go a little slower, but you're going to play a little bit louder. Yeah, that's awesome. Fabulous. Does it feel easy, or do you have to think a little bit?
I have to think hard on my weaker two fingers.
Right. Exactly. So you do this every day. And after a couple of weeks, you'll be much more natural at it as a child. But because you're learning so fast, I'm going to tell you the third week what I would do.
The third week. I'm in the third week already.
The third week.
Wow.
Compared to a child.
Okay.
Finger two. But I shouldn't say that. Some adults struggle with this, and then I don't say those things. Make them feel bad. But finger two, watch this. I'm going to take your hand away so you can see. See, we don't want any of our fingers to flatten out like that.
Right.
We want this joint to be strong. There's many countries in the world that don't say you have to super curve. England and America goes more for the curving. But if you're looking at Eastern Europe and Russia, they'll be more like that. But they still have, this is the strength, and you're not collapsing that joint. That's the secret. Now what I find, for beginners, that's just too hard. It's going to collapse all the time. So for beginners, I do insist on the real curving. So this, every joint is bent and this finger is pointing straight down. So now let's try the third step. Think first, take your time. Yeah. So you're going to put your wrist down a little bit, knuckles are up a bit. Good. Do you see how it's wobbling a little bit, shaking, but you're keeping it from collapsing? Wait, stop. If you pull your finger two back just a little bit, so now try finger two again. How's that?
Much easier. Yeah.
Good. Okay, finger three. Careful you don't bend it too much and go onto the nail. There's that fine, perfect spot, sweet spot. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now you are right-handed.
No, I'm left-handed.
Okay, so then you're going to have a really easy time with your left hand. Let's do the left hand quickly then.
Where do I start?
Oh, good question. Okay, so because our hands are opposites, we put our finger 1 on C for the right hand. For the left hand, we're going to put our finger 5 on C.
Okay, so they're both 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, but this is called 5.
Oh, so
Both
it's
thumbs are called finger 1.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But we want to play the same notes. We were playing C, D, E, F, G. So the left hand's going to be placed on C, D, E, F, G also.
Okay.
It's not a big deal, but I like to start with finger 1 in both hands. So we're starting on the G and going down. Because, not at the same time, but because as you pointed out, the 4 and the 5 are more difficult. So start with the stronger fingers of the 1, 2, and 3, and the hand and the brain get used to focusing on that, and they can help the 4 and the 5 better.
Okay.
Okay, and your hand position is fabulous. So let's try finger 1. Yes, he shook around a little bit, but that's okay. Go back to 3. If every day that you do this exercise, if you let the 3 fall around like that, it'll be harder. He'll learn slower. So you need to slow down. When you notice a finger having a little bit more trouble, just hold the key down longer.
Okay.
Even longer. He had a little trouble. Hold it down longer. And then do it again. Hold it down longer. No. My dear, hang on. Think. Hold it down longer. There you go. That's once. Twice. Yes. If you do it carefully, the muscle will remember that and it'll grab onto it sooner for you. Okay, 4. Yeah, and I like the way that bone, that knuckle bone goes up every time. That means you're using the strength from there. That's well done. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. And I'm just going to call it a 5-finger exercise. Because I teach a lot of children and we call it something else. It's a baby name. We don't need that.
But I like the baby names.
It's called an open door.
Open
Because
door.
your hand is in the shape of a house. And
Oh,
that's the
okay.
roof.
Where's the door?
Well, the front door. Open the front door. Open the window. And the rest of them are windows. And the pinkies open the back door.
I didn't realize there was more than one door.
Front door, back door.
Okay.
And then you get 5 times each finger, see? Now, another thing you have to do is you have to, the sooner you can do this, the better, the easier everything's going to be. You have to start learning the names of these keys. And you know them a little bit because you have done a little bit of piano on your own here and there. Learn the names of the keys. I'll show you what your goal is. Your goal, maybe for next week, is that I can just play a key and you can say E, A, G, okay? Now, if you want some pointers on how to get that faster, easier for yourself, you know C already. It's nice to have a few that you start with. So you've got C. G is another good one because it's 5 above G. And music works a lot with notes that are 5 up. You've ever heard of I don't know if you've heard of the circle of fifths?
No.
Okay. That's okay. We'll explain that as we come along to it. But it's nice to know G next, I believe. So you've got your 3 black keys and the key that's between the lower 2 of the 3 is G. And then you play them all and you say G, 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 G. And that helps you just get that sound and the sight into your brain. Then you can go C, G, C, G, C, G. So you've got those anchor ones. And then you could choose another one, like perhaps E, which looks like C. It's on the other side of the 2 black keys, right? And you would do the similar thing. E, 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 E. And you might do then E, G, E, G. Down the road soon you'd go E, C, G, E, C, G. So you see what I'm doing. After a few days, you can start to play the game yourself when you're all alone and you close your eyes and you just open them and see how fast you can name it. And I find, I don't do this so much with children this soon, later on, but I do it all the time with adults, and I find they really enjoy that.
Cool.
So that's going to be your assignment. Learn the names of the keys and start with C, then G, and then E. That's my advice. And eventually, randomly, being able to close your eyes and poke the keys. Okay.
Well, that sounds great. And I think we'll wrap it up for today there.
Okay. Got it.